Hey, what's up, everybody? Look at this. We're live. It's a mic after hours, 11 p.m. The whole house is sleeping, so they're all going to wake up now because they're going to hear me talking. But love Shelly, hate Shelly, I don't care. But that girl has been there for me whenever I need her. I'm like, Shelly, let's go live. She's like, okay. So here we are. We got beer. Anybody in the state of Florida, Louisiana, Texas, Tampa Bay Brewing Company is my sponsor. Available at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. David is the man and Major. Please support him. All right, so we just got a new update from the National Hurricane Center, and let me tell you what. I have never gotten more negative posts for this storm in my life, and it is pissing me off because I am not a meteorologist. I am a nobody. I am not an official source of info, but to be slandered by so many people lately is getting freaking on my nerves, man. I'm getting tired of it. So the little rant's over with. I don't care, really. I don't lose any sleep. I'm happy, but it sucks to be right, you know. Today was a bad day. I could tell you I can personally tell you 5 o'clock this morning, the NHC was all over the HWARF, the HAFS, talking about rapid intensification. So I decided, okay, I'm going to start posting models, showing what I've been hinting and talking about. This is probably going to happen. 11 o'clock advisory comes out. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what. National Hurricane Center's got a little bit bigger budget than I got. So how do you issue an 11 o'clock advisory showing a tropical depression? Every news agency in the world pumps this out. Tropical depression 10,000 plus millibars. And then 5 minutes later, they issue a new advisory. Oh, no, it's 995. It's now a tropical storm. And if you read a discussion, it said, we're on the high end of the curve of intensity. So it pretty much blew it off at 11 o'clock today, saying this isn't going to be anything to worry about. That's how I read it. What the hell, man? I'm a nobody, okay? But that didn't make sense to me. So here we are, 11 o'clock. 110 mile an hour hurricane way away from landfall, meaning the number one thing that needs to be changed, in my opinion, for the National Hurricane Center is this. Here to here, what's going to happen? It's going to be an intensifying hurricane. They have 110 mile an hour winds now way offshore. Now they're saying likelihood of rapid intensification major hurricane. So how do you start out with a barely hurricane yesterday, and now we're at 110 mile an hour. 11 o'clock today, they basically said it was a tropical depression. Not going to be anything. People don't have time to prepare. I feel like a madman. I'm walking around talking to people here in my hometown. I'm calling the city of Oldsmar tonight. I'm like, have you seen the surge maps for our area? Right? Look at. Maybe this is the end of my run. I don't know. Maybe I've lost my marbles. Maybe I'm wrong. But now we have this. Surge values higher than Eta. Okay? I put a surge map out earlier saying this is Eta worse than Eta. Instantly, man, I got almost death threats. Like, you're such a hypist. Well, now we got their surge values up to 4 and 7 foot. We have no evacuations. This is Tuesday night. I'm really losing my mind here. Like, why is nobody talking about this? You know, a large hurricane passing by Tampa Bay, 4 to 7 foot surge. We had hundreds of homes flooded during Eta. People are, visions that I've seen, people are saying I'm hyping. I drove. I helped people. I saw married couples in their 80s walking in the road with 2 feet of water being rescued by Pinellas County Sheriff's Madeira Beach Fire Department, rescuing people. This is not hype, man. And I'm getting tired of people telling me I'm hyping. I saw it. Now we got higher surge values and nobody's talking about this. It's like, what the hell, man? Why all of a sudden aren't people concerned about this possibility, Sorry, but I'm just like, this is 2 days from now, Tuesday night. Maybe I'm wrong, but now they upped the surge. Now it's 3, not 5. It's 4 to 7. God, man. Let it go. I know, Paul. Sorry. It has bothered me, though, because I don't feel the urgency of what could be happening. So the Hurricane Center is basically saying now we probably are going to have a major hurricane, which we've been showing the models that they've been blowing off. Anyway, so here's the latest. Man, I'm sorry. Apologize, but it does bother me. Sorry. So the new update, 60-mile-an-hour storm. It's stationary. Huge convection, bubbling. The hottest waters on record. And we're 2 days away from landfall. I don't get it. All right, but we got a huge area of a hurricane watch. Hurricane watches mean that we're going to experience something within the next 48 hours. We'll have warnings tomorrow. That'll change people's opinions. Maybe watches don't mean as much as warnings. I don't know, but warnings are coming. And there you go. No track change. Track change is pretty much the same. Intensity now is bumped up to 110. What concerns me here is that the track change is basically way offshore. I'm trying to find the link I'm trying to find here. I felt good getting off my shoulders, everybody. I'm sorry, but I just been full of anger. Like, I just can't. I don't know what's going on this year. But here's the latest. So this is what worries me more than anything, I guess. The fact that they're showing 110 way offshore, and every single model on the planet is showing a strengthening system before landfall. So 110 to here, what is that going to be? This has always been my biggest beef. Okay, from here to here, what is it going to be? 110 here, what's it going to be here? It's going to be more. So, and again, hurricane inland, Gainesville. Listen, Gainesville, you're on the dirty side, man. University of Florida kids. This thing is going to be strengthening at landfall. It's going to go inland at a fast rate of speed. We're going to see inland effects We're going to have a hurricane likely across the whole state of Florida. Jacksonville area. I've been talking about it. People ask me, what about me in Jacksonville? You're going to have a freaking hurricane. This thing, so when you have a strengthening hurricane, they don't weaken. It's like a roller coaster, right? So an intensifying hurricane on landfall is not going to just all of a sudden just like disappear. It's going to take its time to come back down. And when it's going forward speed, you're going to see inland effects that we haven't seen in a long time. A lot of this area has never seen a hurricane in a while. We get a lot of trees. There's a lot of dead trees. There's a lot of dead branches. We're going to see a serious amount of rainfall, double-digit rainfall. So we're going to have a lot of power outages starting Tuesday night, 2 days from now. I don't know what's going on here. Why? Nobody cares anymore. I've probably talked to 30, 40 people today, and everybody's just numb. But anyway, all right. Nothing else has really changed. It's actually staying a little bit more off the coast, which is kind of the trend we've seen. So still North Carolina, South Carolina in play. This thing could still be a hurricane off the coast of the Atlantic when it exits. Timing's still long gone by Friday. But I feel it's my obligation to share my feelings. I never talk against anybody. Trust me, every meteorologist is my friend. But the feeling that I'm getting is just that the urgency is not there. Like when you mentioned the possibility of a major hurricane, all of a sudden it was like I was like the most hypest person on the planet. And the NHC always starts out conservatively. Everybody says the same thing. It's only going to be a 1. It's only going to be a 1. It's only going to be a tropical storm. Well, now it's probably going to be a major. Okay? That's a huge difference. So tonight's update, 110 miles an hour. Very, 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 very close to Tampa. When I made the post earlier tonight, I said my worst fear for the Tampa Bay area is a storm that doesn't make landfall. What I meant by that, obviously any storm that makes landfall is serious. What I meant was the perception of a storm that goes off to the side of Tampa and doesn't make landfall could be just as bad as any other system. And we're seeing that. Now the surge maps, I saw that as soon as I hit the button, they raised the surge maps. That's worrisome to me. Pinellas County, barrier islands, you're going to be under an evacuation. You got to be. So that's a huge amount of people. St. Pete, all the way up. You're going to be under an evacuation. I don't know when. Tomorrow, I guess. But we're going to have a lot of people flooded. Ada flooded hundreds of homes. They told me 1,000 homes, and I'm just scared to say 1,000. I don't know if that included, but FEMA people told me 1,000 homes. I don't know. I just say hundreds. I don't know. Ada was 2020. We had homes flooded in Oldsmar, the Bay. Now, these are the highest surge estimates we've ever seen in Tampa Bay in our lifetime. Okay, 1921, we had a Category 3 hurricane come across Tarpon Springs. Completely destroyed Oldsmar, right? Oldsmar gone. Tampa Bay was underwater. Hillsborough River was 15 feet above water. Oldsmar was 8 feet below water, or 8 feet surge. That was 21. Cat 3 crossed through Tarpon Springs. Nobody in our lifetime has experienced this high of surge in Tampa Bay. Nobody knows what to expect. We have a super moon on Tuesday night. Luckily, the tide cycle's a little bit to our favor. The overnight Tuesday is not the main high tide. So that's a good thing. But still, we got super moon. But they're catching up. I get it. I just don't know why it takes so long for intensity models. I mean, Dorian, I shared a post last week talking about this week. Dorian and Michael, initial forecast, tropical storm at landfall. Both ended up Cat 5s. I got blasted for that. Anyway. Facts, people. Facts. Intensifying hurricane, okay, possibly major hurricane. Surge for Tampa Bay, West Central Florida. Power outages deep into the state. Tornadoes likely for the whole peninsula beginning tomorrow, Monday. Not hyping. Tornadoes are huge. When this thing decides to pass, you know what's going to happen? Our storm's going to be here, and we're going to have Wednesday severe storms passing through the state. It's going to continue. So there's a lot of weather to come. Just don't blow this off. I'm just afraid that everybody's just thinking this is nothing. The level of hype for Ian was so great, and it should have been. Ian was terrible, one of the worst hurricanes ever. Will this be? I don't know, but there's very little. There's just the level of communication with this storm compared to Ian is like Zippo. I don't know why. I think everybody's just tired of hurricanes. I don't know. Way it looks tonight, though, let me show you. Look at that. Unbelievable bubbling of convection. I shared it before I went out to eat. Consistent, the most intense convection tonight, showing signs of organization by the center. That is going on currently. Some of the largest cloud tops we've seen ever tonight for this storm. We've had lightning in the core, a clear indication that we're seeing strengthening. We did not want to see this become a tropical storm as it exited this area, and it's already 60 miles an hour. So definitely signs that this thing is going to be something bad. The latest spaghetti models just came out too. Here, these just came out. These are 00Z Tropical Tidbits, my good buddy Levi. And we do indeed have that same exact track pinpointing Tampa Bay towards Big Bend. Again, we have population, we have Crystal River, we have Homosassa Springs, serious flooding possible. We have people inland. The inland effects, I cannot stress enough. Everybody focus on landfall. Inland effects are just as bad sometimes, especially on a deepening, strengthening hurricane that's still going to be a hurricane through the whole state of Florida. We're going to see trees down. We're going to see power outages. We're going to see, the effects that people don't even realize are coming. And again, we are on the dirty side here in West Central Florida. And that's something that needs to be addressed. This has been, people ask me my biggest fear. I talked to my buddy Dennis tonight about it. My biggest fear is a storm passing at the perfect angle on high tide just north of Tampa. And let me tell you, my gut, people want to know my gut for worst case scenario. My gut is this: living in Tampa Bay, we have seen Irma, Ian, Charlie all expected to hit Tampa a day before, and then at the last minute turned. My worst gut feeling is a system a day away to our west. And if it does the same thing, it's going to ride the east side of the cone. And there's going to be so many people not prepared because they see the cone and they think about the center line. They don't think about the edge of the cone. I'm so afraid of that. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just worried that what happened with so many people down in Fort Myers, I heard it firsthand. So many people saw that they were on the edge of the cone. They just didn't think it was even possible. It was all going to go to Tampa. Next thing you know, oh my God, it's turning. And they ran out of time. They couldn't evacuate. Roads are clogged. Think about Pinellas County. There's one way out. The bridges, Skyway is going to close. We could have Tropical Storm Debbie closed all of our bridges. We have one way out of Pinellas County. It is not your normal area to evacuate. So my biggest fear, this thing turns this a little bit. Guess what? People are going to say, crap, we need to go. Where do you go? Do you go north towards the storm? And that happened to people down in Fort Myers. I heard from people in Fort Myers. They decided to evacuate last minute. Guess what? Alligator Alley's closed. There's no hotels. So they just came home. And a lot of them had to ride it out. Some of them wrote it out in their attics. A lot of them told me they busted out of their attics with axes, just like you heard stories from Louisiana. This is not hype, people. This is real. Trust me, when I said that you're going to experience surge in Fort Myers like Katrina, people basically threatened me, saying that I'm being a hypist. I met 2 people that had to bust out of their attics because of surge, okay? It's real. You can't make this stuff up. So, if you're in that cone, you got to worry that you got just as much risk as anybody else. And if this thing's going to become a major hurricane, it's 110 now, and they're saying likelihood of this being a major hurricane is real, then I can't stress it enough. That's all. So maybe I shouldn't drink and post. I don't know. But that's all I got to say about that. That's a big soapbox. I'm sorry. I've been doing this a long time, everybody. And I take a lot of pride in my post. Almost to the point that I put my heart and soul in this stuff, man. And I don't think I've been wrong a lot. But people are living in a world of denial right now. So just want everybody to be prepared. Just pay attention. This thing's Tuesday night, okay? I don't know. So, cheers. I don't know. I'm worried about it. Let's see if we got any 00Z models up from Tropical Tidbits yet. So, we got the 00Z model suite coming out with hurricane models. Let's see if any of these have came out yet. Nope. So they'll be coming out soon. I've told everybody that I know in my little circle tonight, we're going to see 110 mile an hour winds. I think today was an emotional roller coaster because at 11 o'clock, I fully assumed it was going to be a tropical storm. I saw the hurricane data. They posted nothing. Everybody in the world posted it, and then it was. And it was almost like, why the denial of facts? 5 o'clock, National Hurricane Center, totally all in on the HAFS, totally all in on the H-Wharf. We possibly are going to see rapid intensification. The 11 o'clock advisory came out. You read the forecast discussion, basically saying we are at the top of the intensity, and it's basically no big deal. That was the take I got. No talk about anything more. Totally left the whole world thinking this is nothing. That gets shared to everybody. Just irresponsible, my opinion. So let's hope it's nothing. We're going to see hurricane warnings tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Okay? Maybe it's nothing. I don't know. Official forecast is 110 now, with a good chance it might become a major. So that's the way it rolls. We're going to see. This is not my first hurricane, so if I'm wrong, I don't care, because I've been right more than wrong, and I'll be proud to say it. I grew up racing. I'm a NASCAR fan. I believe in records, and I can proudly say that I've been right way more than wrong, and I don't care. I'm not being egotistical. So there's going to be a time I'm wrong, and I know that day is coming. But I have to go with my gut. I constantly debate what I'm going to post. Something sparks inside of me, and I'm like, I got to post this because it's what I believe in. And I've always done that. That's the way I roll. I have my own methodology. I have my own way of thinking. I don't have to explain that, but when I believe something, I post it, and I feel like it's time to post it. So that's why I do that. And you know what? One day I might be wrong, and I'm okay with that. There's a lot of people wrong. Mets are wrong. But to see this happening now, we have to watch it. So I'll be glued to the computer tonight, tomorrow. We'll see this thing start to get lifted up north. We got a approaching cold front that's clear as day. It's just a matter of how strong that cold front is and when this is going to react to it. Franklin's having a little bit to do with the steering, but it's going to pull north. And again, you go with models, and they highly, here we go. The latest 00Z suite just came out. That's pretty dang confident. So there you go. That's confidence. We'll see little wiggles and wobbles. We always do. My fear is a little wobble to the east from history. Regardless, if this is the track, Tampa Bay, west coast of Florida, is going to see surge they've never seen before in a lifetime. Trust me. We've never seen 4 to 7 foot in Tampa Bay in our lifetime. 6 to 9, Tarpon Springs northward. That's a lot of surge. 4 to 7 feet. That's more than Ada. So we'll leave it at that. All right, so I'm going to be, tornadoes. We'll talk about all that. Let's talk. So we're going to go live in the morning at 9:19. There'll be great data. We'll have a 5 o'clock update from the NHC. We'll have a bunch of overnight model runs. I guess I should look at comments. My contacts are like really acting up, but Marla, thank you. Direct hit to Tampa Spark. It'd be awful. I don't have to go any further than that. It'd be the worst case scenario ever. Kim, I appreciate it. Daniel, I'm gonna read comments now. Evacuations justice. I tell you what, I'd like to trust the local authorities. You want to know something? I'd never have ever given advice, but if you live on those barrier islands in Pinellas County, you're going to probably be in an evacuation. So do you get a jump on it now? I don't know. But, all the islands, St. Pete North, You're probably going to be in evacuation zone tomorrow, I would think. It's only a day away. I don't know what they're waiting on. I don't know what they're waiting on. I really don't. I called my city of Oldsmar tonight, and I'm like, what are we waiting on? Like, why is this not a bigger priority? Like, I don't understand it. Orlando, you're going to get a lot of squall lines, a lot of storms. You're going to get nasty weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Tornadoes are always a big problem with these tropical systems. You get a lot of energy out there in the Gulf, so these squall lines are going to have a lot of energy. There's a lot of instability in the upper atmosphere. Just the nature of a tropical system. We do have some shear coming in from the west. So what happens is when you get shear from the west and you get storms coming in this way, you get classic instability in the atmosphere, and you get tornadoes. So there's going to be basically a tornado threat for the whole peninsula, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh God, let's see. 4 to 7 feet taller than your dad. I'm only 6 foot. Oh man. Newport Richie, listen. And you know what, Shelly, Bandit people, I don't care anymore. I'm sick and tired of people that want to cause trouble on our pages. My best advice is if you don't like what I say and you think I hype, great. That's awesome. Go somewhere else. It doesn't hurt my feelings. You know why? Because we got over 2.5 million followers now. TikTok, I'm over 200,000 now. And if you don't like it, guess what? There's a million other places to go. You don't need to be on our page starting trouble. Jim Cantori, yeah, we're gonna hook up. My buddy Reed Timmer and Jim Cantori, man. We're gonna be like Three's Company, man. Jack Ritter. What were the blonde girls' names? Man, I grew up watching Three's Company, so we're gonna be the Three's Company. Joe, what's up? East trend, yeah, kind of slow down that east trend. I don't know. I think we're going to be set with a track, and then we're going to have to worry about a last-second turn, is my gut feeling. Tomorrow, the track will be locked, and we're going to have to worry about a 50% shift in the east cone. Suzanne Summers. Remember, oh, God, let's talk about, I could be here all night. Mr. Furley, he was one. What was the other one? God, I love Three's Company. Reed hasn't told me where he's going, but he said hey earlier. So Jack Tripper, that's right. Cape Canaveral, the only thing to worry about Cape Canaveral, you're going to have a lot of storms coming in off the Atlantic on Tuesday and a lot of storms coming up through the state on Wednesday. So you just squall lines, normal squall lines, tornadoes, threats are always there. Brunswick, Georgia. Oh, Lord. Hurricane force winds guaranteed. Brunswick, you're going to have surge possibly coming in as our storm exits. You're going to have winds. Remember Irma? As our storm approaches, when our storm's about right, let's say about right here, Brunswick, you're going to start seeing, the rotation of our hurricane. You're going to see storms. So even though our system's going to be off the Florida West Coast, Brunswick, Savannah, Jacksonville is going to be dealing with the possibility of extra winds and surge. Do I see a cane at 1? It all depends, Ed, if there's hurricane hunters out there. I don't know. We're going to get temporary pops of convection guaranteed. This is a pretty big one. It'll probably die down a little bit. That's what they always do. I tell you, the number one thing that I've been watching, nobody's mentioned MJO this year. I think I'm the only person in the whole world that's mentioned MJO. I don't know why. Some years is all you hear about. But the moisture, there's so much moisture. The one thing that stood out for me from day one was this. So we have Franklin over here, major hurricane Franklin. But look at look at this. It's such a damn difference. It's huge. The amount of moisture in the atmosphere compared to Franklin. Franklin's a major hurricane. Look at what is the name? I tell you. I was thinking Isaiah, Ida, Ian, Irma. What is it? What's up with these ice storms? But look at the moisture field. This has stood out for me more than anything. Is the moisture compared to Franklin? I mean, the moisture's always been there in the Gulf. Look at the size difference. To me, that's just amazing. To not give this a chance. When you see winch charts like this, I haven't looked tonight. I assume it's still strong. Oh, it's strong. When you see that clear spinach at the lower level, 850, holy cow. It doesn't get any more intense than that. That is unbelievable for 850 millibar spin on a developing system. 700's almost stacked. 500's almost stacked. Hurricane. Tremendous proof that this thing's intensifying. And it's got no wind shear above it. This is 250. There's no wind shear. Am I shocked? Yes, Chrissy. So all along I've been saying, a couple days ago we looked at the 500 and it was, so the original forecast had this thing hitting over the Yucatan all weekend long. Common sense said the 500 millibar was over the gap between Cuba and Yucatan. Everything I've ever seen over the years is the 500 millibar becomes dominant and the lower level ends up developing below it. It's the way nature works. It indeed happened. The models were wrong. The low level decided to develop underneath the 500 below this gap between the Yucatan and Cuba, and that's why it's developing. The warmest water basically in the planet, for Caribbean at least, on our side, no shear, hot water, endless amount of fuel below the surface, it's going to intensify. So I was shocked that the models were wrong. I wasn't shocked with reality of this is not a good spot for a system. And if you've been following me, this is what we've said. Like, this is the gap is not a place that you want to see a developing tropical system. So I guess looking back, I'm shocked the models were wrong, but I'm not shocked that common sense won that debate. I don't know. Jacksonville, you're going to be a hurricane. Cape Coral, you're going to get squall lines. I mean, I wish there was a really good model map. We're going to be getting a little more higher resolution models, but just to give an idea what it could look like. And you know what? I don't care, man. I'm getting so tired of meteorologists that don't know me trying to tell me how to, I'm so happy I can make a disclaimer that I'm not somebody to follow. I mean, if you want to make the claim that you're smarter, then you should get the followers. Don't follow me. I get these meteorologists that I've never seen it before. I don't know what's going on, but there's like people all of a sudden and that's cool. I get it. I don't care. Honestly, you know what? I don't lose sleep over it. I get fired up about it, but I don't lose sleep about it. I have reputable people that respect me, and I don't, that's all I care about. I'm confident, but these meteorologists that are all of a sudden bashing me, like, dude, work on your own social media. First off, let me tell you something. If you went to school and you're a meteorologist for some company and you're bragging to me, I work for this company, good. Then make yourself a name. Prove that I suck and you're better than me. Don't sit there and go to my page and try to belittle me. I've never in my life, I don't think I've ever went to somebody else's page to try to make myself look better. Ever. You know what? I respect people's opinion, forecast. I might not agree with it, but I don't go on their page and say, you're wrong. But the need for people to come to my page and tell me that I'm wrong, stop doing what I'm doing, quit hyping, and now I'm right? Not one person's ever said, I apologize. But they sure as hell make a big stink when... In this storm more than ever. I don't know if it's because I'm getting bigger on TikTok or what, but people feel the need to inject their opinions, and that's a right. I don't give a crap. You got a right, but guess what? You're wrong. So this is what it could look like. 975 millibar Tuesday afternoon. These are these squall lines that I'm worried about. So we've always seen tornadoes. And some of these could wrap around the panhandle, but these are very isolated. This isn't part of the hurricane. But what we see with tropical systems so much is feeder bands. The main core of the system is going to be developing out here in the Gulf of Mexico, but we're going to see feeder bands through the whole state of Florida. And these little isolated cells are the ones you got to watch. These little guys right here. They're everywhere. So, some storms I've seen... Boom. Tornado warning after tornado warning after tornado warning. I've seen other storms where there hasn't been any. Like, what happened? But being that this is going to be Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, there's going to be a lot of heat in the atmosphere. And this is what we got to watch. So people ask me, Miami, down south, look at this. These are all incoming cells on Tuesday while the main core is right here. So, yes. The other thing that I haven't made a big enough point about, and I did it on our last live, but I need to do it again, at least for you all, is this right here. So on Wednesday morning, way past landfall, let's go about right here. Let's say Wednesday morning, hour 69. Here's our system, but look at these lines of storms. All right, so many times over the years, we've seen a tropical system pull away, and yet we get a large area of storms wrapping up through the Gulf of Mexico, coming back around, even in that Gulf Stream. And, let's say our system's here. These are going to extend all the way to here as this system wraps up. So even on Wednesday, we're going to see some random storms guaranteed. You're going to be like, I thought the storm was done. But we'll have storms. So my advice to my friends in Florida are this: don't take this storm. I just don't get the feeling anybody cares. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I probably asked 10, 50 people today. Nobody seems like they're even paying attention. We have a potential hurricane. Look, we got hurricane watches tomorrow. Maybe it'll get real tomorrow when we get hurricane warnings, but this is a large area under hurricane watch that'll likely become warnings for a lot of people tomorrow, and that'll extend inland. This will become inland hurricane warnings likely for not just the coastline for Tuesday. Today's Sunday. I don't know. But it's coming. So we'll do an update. I'm going to do some more posts tonight. We'll do an update. I'll wake up at 5. We'll do the 5 o'clock update. That'll be huge to me because we'll see if they do this. This will be the big telltale sign if there's an M. I don't know if we're going to see any more tracks. I don't see anything yet unless the center decides to redevelop. But tracks are getting pretty close. But intensity is still the big question. And we're going to have a lot of widespread power outages. We're going to have a lot of surge. We're going to have inland flooding. We're going to have a lot of rain. We're going to start seeing red pop up. I wonder if we have any yet. Nope, not yet. But I bet you tomorrow we're going to see some red. Orange is 6 to 10 inches of rain already. That's tremendous. But we'll start to see red pockets pop up more than likely, indicating 10 inches or more. Huge rain event shaping up. But it's a fast mover. The good news is this thing's going to be long gone. So here's the latest convection. We're going to get a little, you always get a little bit of winding down, but it's not doing it much. All this is doing is lowering pressures in the whole general area, and this is what systems do when they, start organizing. And the fact there's so much moisture, you look at that, you're like, it doesn't look that great. But when you look at the moisture, Shelly's mad at me. Shelly, I told you 10 minutes, I know. But when you look at the moisture map, look at that. A huge moisture in the atmosphere. It's ingesting always a little bit of dry air. You can see it coming in. But the overall moisture is huge compared to Franklin. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, okay? We'll be live in the morning. I just want to give everybody an update. Bottom line, intensity stronger. Wording from the NHC is that we might see a major hurricane. Surge maps have increased down through Tampa Bay. Everything I showed earlier that I got a bazillion people mad at me about now is holding true. And the effects are still Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So nothing's really changed other than the intensity tonight. So the track's close. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. We'll watch the 000 suite, which is happening right now. God, it's always something to look at. 00Z, 102 hours. Oh, man, look at that. So the GFS went way in. These just came out. GFS, not one that we care too much about, but 955 millibar. That's the deepest the GFS has been ever. 955. That just came out. Major hurricane. I don't really like the other models. Let's see Idea. No, we still got to wait on 00Z. Just for fun, we'll see what the CMC says. It's just started to run, so it hasn't even run. Icon ran, though. Let's see what the Icon says. Icon is 975. The Icon is the strongest it's been yet, too. And it's back to just north of Tampa Bay, showing a 975. That's really the only two models. So the Euro comes out at 2 in the morning. So the trend is there, man. It's getting stronger. So there you go. All right, get some sleep, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Shelly, for being there for me tonight. And I just want to give. When I posted 5 o'clock this morning, when I posted 5. Keyword Pelican. I want. So when I do the 5 o'clock advisory, the first one that comments Pelican, message Shelly, and I'll send you some stickers and koozie. Shelly, you got that? I got a whole bunch of stickers here. All right, Pelican.